A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Jennifer's got that grit. Meredith, yeah, she's got that grit. I need some more grit and grace with Jennifer and Merideth on Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Meredith. I'm your girl, Jennifer.
And I am your girl, Meredith. We are so excited, of course, like we were talking about, all kinds of great things going on this season. You know, yes, it's a bit chilly, but you know, this is perfect weather, perfect Texas weather. These are the ones that you want to kind of just wrap them up, right, and put them in your pocket. I love it. So it's perfect for crawfish season. Now, I know that I began with me many years ago, but it's been going on for, I would say probably over 30 years. And so I'm newer to the area, but within the last 2 years, you've probably seen it, at least from my perspective on 105, all of a sudden this great place opens up right there on the corner. And you see it every day, and every day it gets bigger and bigger. And sure enough, now we've got all the big signage, everything out in the front. Buster's Crawfish, and they are known for their great crawfish. And so we wanted to reach out because we love spotlighting great organizations and businesses. And I went up there, and you can tell, I'm not going to lie, they were serious that morning, because there was already a line and the place didn't open till 12. And so when I went in, it was just so cool how everybody was like straight up like, I'm here, I made my reservation, I want to get this going. And it was just perfect because it was like, well, we don't start cooking, but they start doing live before. It was a great lesson. I loved it. And I loved the crowd. So either way, I just want to say, before we even begin, it's like your reputation precedes you in the community. We're so excited that y'all are here with us. So Bradley and Deborah, thank y'all so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Well, and something that really was so cool is, yes, I met Deborah that morning because when I dropped off our card and we chit-chatted for a minute, but they have their busy weekend, right? So, and they're open all throughout the week. It's not just the weekends, but those are got to be the busiest times, right, Deborah?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so when I went in, it was just so great. And sure enough, when I reached out, she was like, well, I got in touch with Bradley. You're going to want to talk to him. And boy, when he was telling me everything, I knew this gentleman knew his stuff. It wasn't just started something new this season kind of business. He'd been doing it. Bradley, how long you been doing this? Tell our listeners.
This is my 36th year.
Can you believe it? Now, he doesn't even, you just shy a little bit more. What'd you start at, like 10? You started at 10.
I started at 15 years old. It was back with the push boats, and we just kind of pioneered it from there.
I love it. And that's one of the things that I found out is not only do they make great crawfish right now, but you can get it live, and you can of course go and enjoy it yourself right there. They've got their great storefront in their front yard right there. But I was also blown away at just knowing, first of all, you have another location, right?
Yes, ma'am. We have one on FM 1314. I have a son that's 20 years old, and he needed a job, so we decided to get him.
So we'll just open you up a crawfish store.
I'm loving it. I need
That's
another
awesome.
job too. Let's talk about that, Bradley. No, just
You would eat all the profits.
I would, but there are far worse candidates. I tell you, I have a friend, Jerry, and she's known, her reputation is known, like everybody's like, come out for a crawfish boil. Jerry's coming. Well, she may have to bring some money too, just because we know what she lays down. She's a petite lady, but she'll eat some crawfish. And she loves Buster's too. I know their family actually make the rounds there frequently, especially in the season. But yeah, so why don't you tell our listeners how you all got it started out? Because I know you're saying 36 years ago, but I mean, my goodness, you started. It wasn't just one day just selling crawfish. You know it, the ins and out of these beautiful bugs of ours. We love them.
Well, go ahead, Bradley, on the
Yeah,
farm.
yeah, what happened
Yeah.
is
Louisiana.
this January we started out with 19 degrees a couple days, and this is a supply and demand market. And you see the $4.99 a pound live in January, and in February came, and we had rains, and then as it gets warmer, they get plentiful and bigger, and their shells are harder, and they live longer. And that's where we're at right now. And the Easter week is made on the moon, and that's what makes the crawfish bite. And we usually have a good catch this week because it's Easter and it's a full moon, and it's actually the first full moon that the crawfish bite on. Usually they're molting with a full moon, but because it's Easter, the good Lord has always given us a good catch.
Oh man! And of course, now that I think I told you, Bradley, I didn't at first love the idea of eating crawfish. Now that I have gotten into it, my mouth is watering at the idea. I'm like, yes, they are getting bigger. They are, and this weekend's going to be great. And we're looking forward to
They're
it.
beautiful right now.
Oh,
I bet.
and
Yes.
I love the fact that because I asked this gentleman, I said, so when do you come in? And he's like, every day. And I'm like, every day from Louisiana. We wake up. I mean, this is a love and passion for business and knowing how to make it fresh and live. Something that I just love knowing about right here in our own backyard. Right across the street, I know that you can get the fresh stuff and it's big and it's going to be so yummy. And then, of course, being able to go there and enjoy it yourself, because it's something too. Like, of course, you know how to cook them too, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. We have our special seasons, which we made up in 1995, and that's really the answer to it. We put onions in the water, and we boil the potatoes and corn, and with Buster seasoning is really what makes them taste well. We do a lot of pump and irrigation. That's why your price of crawfish is pricey today, because it costs us about $300 a day per water well, but we pump clean water through them, like drinking water, and it keeps them clean on their bottoms. And it's orange fat. You can suck the heads. It's clean fat, and that's what separates us from everybody else. We work hard. No one's gonna work harder than we are. These guys, we got these H2A workers that gets up at 3 a.m. in the morning. We went to the LED lights this year, so it looks like a spaceship's out there in the farms.
I just love that. It's like homegrown. Like there is no third party. You're not walking to somebody else and being like, you know what? Did you find something 2 weeks ago? Let me have whatever it is. Let me do. I mean, this is fresh. This is daily. It just blows my mind. The work ethic to be able to be like every day.
As a matter of fact, before we went on the air, he took a phone call and he said, "Go get them off the boat now. Go."
Well, and especially because, of course, right now they'd already be en route on the regular day. But I think that we're talking about reinforcements, because you were telling me that this is going to be the biggest one. This weekend is the biggest one for everybody enjoying and for the biggest, of the best arrivals. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, it is. We're really working hard today, and I want the customers to understand. We tell you what's going on. We're running them 2 and 3 times a day, every 8 hours. And then sometimes the Mexicans, which is the H2A Mexicans, say, there's only 1 or 2 crawfish in the trap. I say, go get them. And it's, as you run it all week and move so many crawfish, they tend to get smaller. But we still have some ponds that's holding on with size. So if y'all go somewhere in there a little bit smaller today, or medium or large, they're going to be a lot bigger come Tuesday once we let the ponds rest.
That is wild. See, let the ponds rest. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like, he knows his business.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that I get to learn, and I love it when I'm talking to this man, especially because he knew, like, you like the suck in the head, and
Yes.
you started like that, right?
Yes. I've always eating it like that.
And then when I was talking to Bradley, he was like, well, of course. And then you were telling me about the rice fed and it makes it all great. And I'm thinking, how in the world? I never would have known these things. It's just beautiful to me being able to see it all. And so when this season's coming up, because of course this is one of your bigger weekends, but it's not the last of it. I mean, you were just getting started, right? So I love hearing that Crawfish starts in January. I was like, what? Hark my ears? What was that? And of course I missed out on, I think, almost 2 months of Crawfish thing since I should have been coming by. But you, right now, of course, through this season, how long does it extend to? Give us a little insight. Because I know, isn't it every year it's a little different? Like, how does that all happen?
Yeah, what's happening is we coming down here and paying these high price leases for 6 months. I mean, for a full year. And we only open 6 months out of the year, so we got to make our money in a short period of time. And we start usually, I think we started this year October 23rd, which is my birthday, and we end up.
That's a good
I
birthday.
think we closed last year August 1st. So it's even if we could kind of break even on the rent and off season, and give Deborah a job or somebody, it helps because we do well in the season, but that's why your price of crawfish is going up.
Well, and I don't think it's unreasonable at all. And I think you just bring up a great point. It's a seasonal business. It's not something just like with the fireworks. You can't be open realistically all year and think you're getting fresh live because that's not how the season works, right? But when you are on call, it's your season. I mean, your team runs a tight ship, don't they, Deborah?
Oh, yeah.
So how does it all work out? Because between the deliveries, between the reservations, between people walking in, wanting something to go live, wanting something to enjoy right there, like how do y'all make that tight ship run?
Well, I've got a lot of good employees. I got a lot of people that show up to work. And I've got a fry cook. I've got a boiler. We got people that separate the crawfish every day, and
That
it's just amazing. Yeah,
It really is cool, and that's what I love seeing that morning. Is I could tell it was a tight ship because y'all were we were at the door, open the door, and you're like, okay, we're just now turning on things, and you're like, all right, reservations come up here, and it was just like everybody was starting to get their order in, and it was awesome, and there was no hesitation. I mean, you let them know the big ones and let them know the standard size or what they could do, and then
Right.
everybody just knew, like, take your ticket. Take your ticket. Without this ticket, you got to get in the back. And it was just so cool because I was like, dang, man, I don't have time to come eat, but I want to. But it was for live stuff because you open a little bit earlier for the live pickups, right?
Yes, I do. I open at 10:30 for live, and then I start boiling the boil at 12 o'clock every day.
Is it 12? Okay, so what are your hours, just so we can, because of course I get the joy of seeing it across the street every day, but what are your hours?
We're open every day of the week, so Monday through Sunday, basically 12 to 9. We do a great lunch special on every day from Monday through Friday for 3 pounds of crawfish for $14.99.
That
That
is
is really
awesome.
great.
woohoo. And that reminds me of going back to whenever I had a chance to catch up with Bradley on the phone. Deborah was so kind to pass his information on to me, and one of the things that really sparked my love for this man from the beginning was his voicemail. He is, first of all, of course, your accent, Bradley. I'm sure. I'm sorry. He's like, I just know crawfish lady, But I'm like, your accent's awesome. And then on his voicemail, no shame, he's like, yes, this is Bradley, and last name, and I'm sorry, Bradley, can't think of it right now, but the John Wayne of Crawfish. And I said, hot damn, he called it. He's like, there you go. So I couldn't help myself. I was like, Mr. Wayne, how are you, sir? I mean, that is so cool. But plus, he knows his stuff. He was rattling off knowing that there's going to be specials throughout the week. And that's something, too, our listeners need to know. So you were saying the $14.99, that's for what days?
$14.99 is Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday?
And you can look up our specials every day because I do change the specials every day on Facebook. So we have a Buster's Crawfish Montgomery Facebook, and then I have a Buster's Crawfish Porter, Conroe Porter, that he can see all the specials there because every day it changes, and we do a giveaway every week also, so people can win free crawfish.
I'm sorry, what was that? I did not see
crawfish.
that. When I was
Free crawfish.
So you
It's on
did.
the, it's
Free
on the
crawfish.
Facebook. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Is that how you
You
get
got
in?
to share, win, and like it. Yeah.
Share and like. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to write that down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, hold on, was there something I didn't see? Because I was, enjoying everything in there. I was like,
Right. Okay, so I'm curious as to approximately how many pounds of crawfish do you think that you're going to sell this weekend?
Oh my God.
I'd say live we probably go through about 15,000.
Between both restaurants.
Oh, just that one. Probably
Which
about
we-
25,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my good night. Why am I
Yeah.
thinking? I was wondering because
Wow.
I was talking to my friend Ryan and I said, I think they were bringing like 300. And he laughed. He's like, they're not done. That's nothing. They're bringing it. And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't remember from our
Yeah,
conversation.
because I think I see, because I live out that way too. So I think I've seen on the sign that y'all are selling 50-pound sacks this weekend, right?
30 pound sacks.
30-pound
weekend for
sacks.
70
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was a big.
$70. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
wild. I'm like, ooh.
And it's funny because both restaurants, we're pretty much neck and neck, and we're not that far away from each other.
Right.
Selling the same amount of crawfish.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of people this closer.
Right.
Buying it all.
I
That
love
is
it, especially
amazing.
yeah, because it's more. Listen, it's more for everybody, but more than anything, I'm like, I just love the idea that you're, here in our area, and we
Right,
could get
right,
it so
right down the road
easily.
from us, yes.
It's pretty nice. I'm like, it's nice, I'll tell you. Plus, I think it's just a great way to kind of in and out because I think again, running the tight ship has been always. I'm a huge fan. Get in and out. Everybody's taking care of business. But what in addition to the crawfish? Because I know I saw other things there. So y'all have a fryer. So what kind of other treats do y'all have for? I mean, I guess they could get it to go, but you've got a lot of people that are just enjoying a little bit of everything while they're there, right?
Yeah, we also can serve sausage with the crawfish, and you get potatoes and corn, of course, with your crawfish. And then we have fried fish. We have boudin balls. We have
Crawfish boudin?
yeah.
That's the new one. That's the new thing.
That's the
Oh.
new-
Oh
yeah,
my
and then the craw-
goodness.
And he's
Oh
making
my goodness.
it. It's made fresh. Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah.
night with Buster's own crawfish.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my
Then I
gosh.
found out that we're making our own sausage too, so that sausage is coming as ours.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Jeff
amazing.
Sloan.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Going to
this
Buster's.
this
And
is
it
authentic
Made
right
at
here.
Grandma's place, I heard.
Right.
Yeah, so that's amazing in Louisiana. Yeah.
Wow.
Grandma's
See,
kitchen.
this what gets me all excited. We're like, man, it's some good stuff. Can't wait.
I know. I feel
Okay.
like tear in my eye.
Well, and for those people that don't like, crawfish or all, we do have a Buster's burger that we sell. So that
Oh, that's true
they
for
can-
those
that don't like crawfish.
Yeah, and I know that's few
Well,
and
what's
far
wrong with them?
between. I know.
And they're amazing burgers. Oh my gosh.
Well, and that's something too but it's worth saying because sometimes your kids aren't ready and their palate, and everything will depend on how young they are. So
Yeah.
you give the best of both worlds to those that love it and those that aren't ready yet. That
But they
you're
wanna-
like, hey, here you go for now, but don't rain on my parade. I mean,
Right.
I'm here for the crawfish.
Yeah,
there's-
we're probably one of the only guys that restaurants around that if they got 5 of y'all and 2 kids, you could bring your McDonald's in, you could bring your drinks in, just bring your own beer.
All
All we want to do is sell crawfish. If you want to bring something from a steakhouse or anything, you go ahead and do that. We just want to serve crawfish.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
That's awesome.
And it's something again. You've been doing this, Bradley, for over 30 years, right? And it's something in the family. They've got their own. I mean, I want to say homegrown. I know that's not the term, but this is their own business. They've been building on for years. They just expanded. Well, actually, I say just because I just learned about the 1314. But how long has the 1314 location been open?
This is our first season.
First season, okay.
Wow.
So I'm not completely losing it because I felt like a fool when he was like, or Deborah's like, well, we have the 13-4. I was like, what? I didn't know there was more than one
Right,
location.
right.
But no, one of the things that I love, and I'm sure you hear it from a lot of the customers that come in, is just the quality, right? Being able to have it there fresh all the time and being able to enjoy themselves. Because I think I even saw some bands out there last summer. Is that
Oh, yeah.
right? So are y'all looking to do that again this year?
Yes, ma'am, we will. Usually after Easter, we start doing that on the weekends. On 1314 location on Thursday nights, my boy Shay, his name's Bradley Shay, he has a band every Thursday night, and this past weekend it just exploded on Thursdays. And now that the crawfish season is about halfway through, and they're getting plentiful and they're really big, on Tuesday nights we're going to run some specials. Like us on Facebook. We're going to price them really, really cheap. Because Tuesdays, we short season, so we got to fish every day. So on Tuesdays, it don't make it till Friday in the cooler or anybody else's cooler. So we want to get them out on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, they'll make it to the weekend, and that's our biggest time.
Oh, that's a good point. Look at this. I love it. He's like, look, come get the good stuff for the midweek.
Yeah.
So you know you're getting a better deal, but you're also getting your pre-party. So that way you can get a discount. I love it. So Tuesdays, we definitely have to check it out.
Tuesdays, and that's going to be live. Also, it's going to be reduced. Plan your party around early week. That helps us out. And the more we sell, the cheaper we can get the price.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because of course with two businesses, you already stock for everything. But I imagine, say I want to have, maybe I should add this to my dreamland. I'm like, say I want to have a big crawfish party at my house. And yeah, I need to make sure that I have X amount set aside, and I don't want to just show up because it's not something that you necessarily can't fulfill. It's just a way to guarantee what you want, right? So y'all could take those if you just have to call. I imagine like in advance, correct? Like you take some right there, of course, walk-ins. But I'm saying for a big party, like for someone that wants to host like a larger event at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we do is if you order 100 pounds or more, we come down on the price. And if you order 500 pounds or more, we come down on the price. If you order 1,500 pounds and it's on a Wednesday or Tuesday, you'd probably be astonished by the price you get.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, now, how much? Let's talk about this weight stuff because my numbers. I'm like, how much is for 100 pounds versus 500? Like in people, like how many does that? And I know that's
What is the
subjective. Yeah.
But 100 pounds, we do it for $2.99 a pound. And if you come get 500 pounds, we'll probably do it for.
Oh no,
$2.40.
I meant people.
Like, yeah, how many people can
How
you
many
feed?
people?
Okay, so for example, I've got a party, today. We're starting the day off. I mean, just going and blowing. So the first thing I have to do is I got 200 pounds to get ready for someone that's picking up, crawfish already boiled and cooked. We're cooking it. They bring your coolers. We fill them up. They take them home and just serve them right out of their cooler. So I think they're feeding like 50 people with 200 pounds. And then a lot of times we'll either throw in potatoes and corn, and just, we make it a good event. So,
We call it a nice chest
yeah, a nice
festival,
chest.
and we also want to make sure that everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love it. And I remember two things. Number one, I'm thinking, okay, this is partially selfish because I'm like, so 25 per 100 pounds. Making a note for my Dreamland party one day. But then really just big picture is like when I was in there, it was a great opportunity to kind of hear firsthand about the customers and the quality there at Buster's. Because when Deborah saw the customers walking out, she kept reminding everybody, now remember, don't close your cooler all the way. You got to have, just because we are we're still in the country. We're booming, but you never know if somebody's 5 minutes away or 35 minutes away because, that's just the nature of the beast here. And we love it that way. Yeah. Let's keep it that way, guys. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't grow too much. So you are giving customers instructions too, kind of like taking care, making sure just to get them the optimal before they go home and start doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. So, okay, so before, we're going to take a short break before we come back, but I want to let our listeners know that I even asked the man himself, the John Wayne of Crawfish, Mr. Bradley here himself, what his tips are for everything going on really with cooking crawfish and what his recipe's like and what he really recommends for newbies out there. So y'all stay tuned, all right? It's Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth.